Welcome to the Fantasmagorium show. On today's show, we get ready to prepare for the prawns in Neill Blomkamp's in-progress sequel script to District 9. Is a 2022 release for the new Stranger Things really that strange a thing? And on the Friday free-for-all, we take a look at some of the movie sequels that deserve more of a spotlight. Let's go.
And we are live.
Hey, Steve, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how are you doing?
I'm well. Having a really good day.
Really good day. So this happened yesterday when we signed off the show. Our subs. So here's the thing. I'll just give you the whole backstory real quick. We had a celebration a couple days ago about crossing 500 subscribers, which was awesome. It was a goal that we met, and we were super happy about it. We're like 522, something like that. Well, almost, I don't know. I think within an hour of signing off of that show, we had dropped, I don't know, 30 or 34, 35 subs. And we were like, what the hell? And then it just stayed there. Now, we had been experiencing sub growth every day, between 25 and 75 subs a day. And then all of a sudden, just nothing. We went backwards, and then we just plateaued. And we go, oh, man, what's going on with this thing? And it just kind of stayed there. So we signed off the show yesterday, and we were still right there. Mm-hmm. Looked at it last night, kind of looked in before I signed for the night, and same thing, pretty much. No big movement either way.
Right.
And then I woke up this morning, and for some reason, our show yesterday had like 4,000 views. We were up to like 1,500 subscribers, and it just blew me away. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm like, what the hell happened? So it looks like sometime over the last 3 days, these things were kind of accumulating in the background and not actually being reported. And it just wham yesterday. So it looks like probably because it's a Suicide Squad show in the title. Somehow that made it through to the algorithm in YouTube, and somebody got a hold of it, right? Mm-hmm. And people started watching and subscribing. And to that end, Scotty, I think we should, since we got a lot of subscribers, we should maybe run through those. Don't you think?
I would like to thank everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So let's pop that on the screen, and let's start, if you wouldn't mind.
I will start at the top.
We want to start at the top or at the bottom with Stephen Amore?
Let's start at Stephen Amore.
Okay.
And thank you, Stephen Amore, friend of the channel, friend of Captain Cockney Spock. Thank you for subscribing, Stephen Amore. Then we have LOL999 Plus, Monsours YT, Giant Killer, or Gaint Killer, pardon me, YT, 999, several things, Ram Nath, Daniel Tovar, Lodar Tong, Sainisab, Mr. Faisal X6, Belak Addy, Crazy Gamer, Dineth Imasha, Anshu Movies, Tainer Gaming, Good Luck, Mr. Sarthak YT, Deadly Gaming, Nirmalendu Sahu, Om Prakesh, Dhruv Rajput, FF Urgies, Surav SD, Jitendra Gansi, Funny Gamers, DJ Akash Kender, Exotic EXC, underscore A4 underscore fake. Well, let's hope not. VLG Gamer YT, Romeo 333 Star YT, Achus, Alicia Khan 222, Aman Suryavanshi, Dubbed World Akash, Mr. Psycho, Herman Manzano, Ashish, Moonlight, Yan Kevin Pangabine, Thor Sahil, Ultron Gaming, Logu, Camilla Andres Aruchan Montalvo, Diane Gamer, Parth Op Gaming, Rupesh Diver, or Divare, Wolf Elite Gaming YT, Cock FF, Deadshot Gamer, Gaming Scappy, KB Gamer, Mike 700, Rutvik Makwana, Bapan Singh, Baka Pillahai Comedy. And I apologize to everyone who I'm butchering here.
Yeah.
I appreciate every one of you. First time I've seen your name. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys. And girls. DJ Johnny Remix, Noob OP, Sai Charan Reddy, Sakura FF, Sunny Chahal, Arrow Status, Z Life FF, M Lasker, Love Status. Well, I love you. Biel Zin, Antisham Khalid 609, Black 777, Karma 7, White 444 Gaming, Y Studio YouTube, FNC XBA Sit Op, RDX Gaming, Murad Midov. Yeah, it's worth a shot. Yeah, it would be rude not to try, or it would be rude to try it. I'm not sure which. JP Euro, FF Lover 007, Tushore Tadvi, Asia Parveen, Milan Patel, Sharpshooter Reseller, nice name, Anil Singhali, Number 8 Original, Pub Gamer, Hiran Mansuria, Red 444 Gamer, Knock _09, Kabir 20 Gamer, Mr. M4D, Bads Edits Official, DK Creation. Hey, DK Creation, thank you. And I thank all of you. I'm just noticing names, that's all. Mahesh Paramar, Seek Philosophy, Telugu Gamer FF, Ash Gaming YT, Sahil Kumar, Rodrigo A, Heikel Tech, Shirag D, MEP, I think, Trio Joker Gaming, Psycho Gaming, Ali NBK, Boss Gaming, Squared M, Lem Pie, Azim Gaming, Mampai, How to Download New Move.
Okay.
TGTYT, Crazy Gaming, Zarham Gaming, or Zargam Gaming. I cannot do that one. That is beyond my capability.
You're right.
Mehdi Hassan, Peru Gaming, Pradeep Singh, hey, Noob Gamer, BD, Archer Gamer, or Archer Gaming, YT, Al Atta Sheikh 69, Muhammad Lieh, Tampa Thumbnail, Ghost Gaming 65, Adil Tech 335, Dark Lord, Shubham YT 45, Deadly Gaming, Mr. Gaming YT, a lot of gamers, nice. Groot YT.
I wonder if that has anything to do with me linking our starting a new Twitch channel and linking it up. Maybe.
I think that may have something to do with it. I'm hoping, but I welcome everyone. No matter how you found us, here we are.
Mr. Gaming YT.
Yes.
Groot YT.
Nishant 7M. Conver Digamber Singh, 5 minutes movie clip. Chinzo FF. AJ Gaming _honey _Jadeka. OP Legend. L Crack 492.
And that's it. Wow. That's a lot.
That's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for liking, subscribing, joining, sharing, everything. We're so happy that you're here.
Doing all the stuff. So yeah, we're super jazzed about that. So that brings us to this, Scotty.
Here comes the crescendo.
Anyway.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love
so
a crescendo.
thank you all. It was super fun to wake up to that today. It was a super shock, but it was really awesome. So thank you to all of our new subscribers. Hopefully we see you in the chat at some point. On the live shows. I know a lot of people like to watch these things, when it suits them and not live, especially during the day. I know a lot of people can't get away to watch them live, but do us a favor, drop a comment down in the chat, comment or question. We'll take those under advisement, any comments, and we'll also answer any questions. So I guess we can just get into that real quick before we get to a couple news items in our main topic.
Yes.
Like we do every day, please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the things, hit the bell. It really helps. All that stuff really helps. If you'd like to send a tip in with your comment or question, please do so. www.streamelements.com/Fantasmagorium show/tip. Also check out our website, www.phantasmagoriumshow.com. You'll find our shows there. You'll find a link to our audio-only podcast if you want to take us with you and you don't have a screen, but you want to pop us in the eardrums, please do so there. We also have a shop there. You can pick up a t-shirt or hoodie. Please do so, www.phantasmagoriumshow.com/shop. And with that all down out of the way, buddy, why don't we, let's, before we get to the news, let's bring in our guests for the free-for-all. We got Terrier, we got Black Phillip Alvarez, and we have Catherine. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks for joining
How
us.
is everybody?
No.
Great.
I'm doing good.
Outstanding.
1,500 subscribers. Then you're going to forget all about us.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Way too big for
We're not-
us, guys. Too easy.
We're nothing without our community, buddy. Nothing without our community and our chat.
Okay. Congratulations. Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's great.
I
love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Just hopefully we can start doing more stuff and with our community, keep building, either live with our shows or on the website. We expand that out. Got a lot of plans. Hopefully we can roll those out in the days and weeks and months ahead.
Yeah.
So with that kind of out of the way, let's hit a couple of these news items. A couple things dropped this morning, and then we'll get to our main topic. The first one is Neill Blomkamp, District 9 sequel, far into the writing stage now and going pretty well. Neill says, I'm just super creatively into what we've come up with. So it looks like he wasn't kidding when he told District 9 fans in February that a sequel to his 2009 box office hit, an Academy Award nominee, was on the way. All the filmmaker confirmed at the time was it's coming, and would be co-written with the screenwriter Terry Tatchell and the District 9 co-star, the District 9 star. It's far into the writing stage now, and it's going pretty well. But I'm just super creatively into what we've come up with, and I just want to throw everything into it, Blomkamp said. For a decade, there were never really seemed to be good reason to make a sequel, the director said. It just didn't feel like there was a justifiable reason to go back to that world in a way where there was something to actually say. All of the experience of my adolescence growing up in South Africa was defined by what District 9 said, and that was the end of it. But apparently that's not the end of it, because a decade later, it looks like he found the something else to say about District 9. Now, I love District 9. I thought, for me, it's my favorite Blomkamp piece of material that he's put out. But I have not. Ben from Cinema Gulp keeps telling me to watch the little short.
Alive in Joburg.
That brought us into District 9. So I will do that. And he said it's really awesome. I didn't really care for some of the follow-ups, Elysium and Chappie. I didn't care for either one of those. But I'm really excited to go back to District 9 world. Scotty, what do you think?
I'm super jazzed to go back to District 9. I'm glad that he hasn't already said that it's called District 10, although does that seem like the logical sequel title?
I suppose.
But yeah, and I didn't mind Elysium. I didn't like it as much as District 9. And Chappie, I still haven't seen. I know that there was a lot of buzz surrounding Alien 5, which would have sort of retconned away Alien 3 and 4. And while I like the idea of Neill Blomkamp doing an Alien film, I still like Alien 3, speaking of the main topic, which we'll get to later. But I like Alien 3, but still, that would have been super exciting to see. And now that District 9 is getting a proper follow-up, I'm interested to see what happens. And I wonder if they'll go back to South Africa or if it will be a more global situation when the prawns return.
Interesting. Terje?
I think I need to watch District 9 again because it's been a very long time since I saw that last. I saw it in the cinemas when it came out, and then I bought it on I think DVD, I guess, and watched it a couple times at home. But it's been a long time since I saw it, and I think I need to revisit it. And I'm really excited for a sequel because I really love that movie. I also, like Scott, I do like Elysium. I watched Chappie on a plane, so that's kind of the same thing as not seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna critique it.
Okay.
Nothing you see on a plane is good. No.
Right. Kat, what do you think about this news?
Surprising. I mean, I remember when that film came out, there were a lot of people who thought, oh, there's going to be a sequel because of the way the movie ended. Oh, the guy's going to come back. He's going to keep his promise. And I'm like, we don't really need to see that. It's like, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Right.
So it's surprising after all these years that he's doing that. I mean, I didn't like Elysium because I thought there were way too many parallels with District 9. Felt kind of like a rehash. And then I liked the character of Chappie, the animation of it. I just hated the characters he was hanging out with. I just couldn't stand that. But, of course, I would have loved to see his Alien 5. And I haven't really been interested in anything else he's been doing really since then. So I hope this isn't just him going with the flow and deciding, oh, well, everybody liked that movie I did the most. I guess I'll just do a sequel to that. You know, I hope there's like a really good idea behind it.
Yeah, me too. Black Phillip Alvarez, your thoughts?
So, I quite enjoyed District 9, and there's always been talk of a sequel over the past years, you know. But so I look forward to District 10, whatever it's called, 93 quarters. And Elysium, I have a mixed bag about that. I think it's too slow of a burn for me, and I think it's a bit over exaggerated a bit, and the less said about Chappie, the better. So
yeah,
I do appreciate Alien 3 too, just as much as Scotty. So we'll be talking about that later in the show. So
yeah. Next up was the news dropped today through basically a season 4 teaser trailer for Stranger Things that the show won't return until 2022. Netflix has unveiled a new Stranger Things season 4 teaser trailer, offering up our most substantial look yet at footage from the new season, while also confirming something we had all pretty much come to accept. Indeed, the Stranger Things season 4 release date will not arrive until next year, as the new teaser trailer sets the release window for the next season in 2022. I know that's going to bum a lot of people out. I think everybody's kind of waiting. You know, it's taken a long time for this to release anyways. But for me, I just can't wait to see it. I hope they don't make us wait too much longer. I hope when they're saying 2022, I hope it's more towards the beginning of the year and not, summertime or the fall. But I think we'll start with you, Black Phillip Alvarez. I know you're a fan. I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things. I love this show. What do you think about this news?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. You've seen the posters in my hair that I like to call. So, I think it's big. It's going on next year would be 3 years since season 3. So, I think it's a bit too long. I mean, I hope people don't forget about it or don't remember what the hell happened in season 3 anyway. So, even I forgot what happened in season 3. So, I'm going to have to rewatch it before I watch season 4. But I was looking forward to it either way because I mean I'm a big fan of the Stranger Things.
So do you think with them pushing this off even further, do you think that season 4 will be the final season?
I think I heard the Duffer Brothers said they just wanted it to be 5 seasons anyway.
5 seasons.
5
So
seasons,
one more
that's
season.
it. So one more season, that's it. So.
The problem with I see with pushing it off is, and we'll get everybody's take, is that these kids are growing. I mean, they're getting older, and now we're talking almost 3 years. Although that one's in the can, they're going to have to explain this. They're going to have to time jump from season 4 to season 5 because there's no. I mean, you're going to have grown men, and 11's going to be 30.
11's going to be 30. She have to change her name to 30.
Right. So, anyways, that's kind of. I wonder how they're going to traverse that. Catherine, what do you think?
That is something they're going to have to address, but that entire show of all the seasons is still on my Netflix watch list. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We'll go to Turye. No, that's fine. Are you a Stranger Things fan?
Yes, I am. I have fond memories of the first season hitting and it just being amazing. Same with the second season. I really loved it. The third season, I didn't love it. I liked it. There was a lot of good stuff in there, but I think it was the weakest of the 3. And also, I waited like 2 years, I think, before I saw season 3. So for me, waiting till next year is quite okay because I haven't been waiting for that long. Right. So that's fine. And we're in August already. If I close my eyes, I can remember it being Christmas like a week ago. So this year has gone by very fast.
Very fast.
But yeah, I agree with Steve that they're gonna have to address the age, and I think maybe they'll traverse into the last season being kind of 90s nostalgia. Who knows?
Maybe
90s could work.
Scotty?
I'm super jazzed. We got to wait till 2022 so I can watch the first 3 seasons.
That's what I thought. Not a Stranger Things guy. Do you have any interest at all?
Yeah, I saw it, and I've always been interested in the cast. I think that they are talented. I saw like the first probably 4 or 5 episodes of season 1, and it just sort of fell off. Life things got in the way. I know that Paul Reiser. I like Matthew Modine. I like Paul. I like the villains from the first 2. I'm not familiar with anything that happens in season 3, but the lady who plays the mom in Stranger Things, she was also on Mad Men. So I'm interested. Cara Buono, I think, and so yeah, I'll check it out as homework before season 4 is released.
Got plenty of time, so
yeah, it looks like we have time.
Yeah,
I actually binged season 2 in one sitting.
Oh wow!
So did I.
Yeah, I asked one of my best friends over, and we made some Italian food and made some drinks, and we just sat in my home cinema till it ended.
Nice. That's usually how I watch them. I binge them. I've binged all 3 seasons when they come out. Speaking of Netflix, Netflix's Addams Family spinoff Wednesday finds its Gomez with Luis Guzman. Netflix's Addams Family spinoff has found. It's Gomez with Luis Guzman. A report from Variety explains how the Wednesday series landed on the beloved actor. Sorry. Alongside him will be Jenna Ortega as the absolutely iconic young member of the Strange family. Yeah, dude. So I've always liked Luis Guzman, and whenever he pops up, I'm like, yeah, dude. That dude's cool. So, Scotty, what do you think about this news?
I am happy that the Addams Family are coming back to live action. I like I like Raul Julia as Gomez in the movies, Angelica Houston as Morticia, obviously Christina Ricci as Wednesday back in the 90s. And I'm happy to see them bring it back. And I've always enjoyed Luis Guzman. So it'll be good. I think he's fit for the role. I like him when he's playing dramatic roles, but I do like him when he's playing comedy as well. So this is great casting, in my opinion. And as long as it's, funny and good, I'll watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. I should mention that this is a Tim Burton directed and executive produced series. So
Oh, wow.
Burton's on board. So
Then-
So
should be good.
To follow in the footsteps of the originals. Yeah, that's what a great sensibility to bring to the Addams family.
Turjay, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think it'll work. I've seen a few comments online with people like saying that, when I think about a sexy guy, like the guy who played him in the movies, the first thing that comes to mind is the first thing that doesn't come to mind is Louis Guzman, and sure he's a stocky short guy, but he has a lot of charisma. He is really good at playing comedy. Stocky short guys making a comeback 2021. I'm fine with it. It's like, what the hell? Do people always have to look the same to play a part? No. So bring it. I've loved Louis Guzman in his entire career. So bring it. I'm gonna eat him up.
Catherine?
Yeah, he needs more roles. He's got the charisma, and this is going to be really fun. Plus, you don't want to just do the same version of what you already did. It'll be neat to see what his take on the character.
Yeah. Black Phillip Alvarez?
Yes, that's great casting. Because Louis Guzman, he's another good character actor out there. So that's brilliant casting. And of course, getting Tim Burton involved, he's gonna make it as macabre, I think that's how you pronounce it, as it gets, because it's Tim Burton. So
you kind of a resident horror aficionado on the show and the channel. Do you have you heard of this, and are you looking forward to it?
I heard of the show. Yeah, I didn't know Netflix picked it up, but it's just my first time hearing about Netflix getting it, so that's even better news. So Tim Burton and Netflix, it could be a good mix. And family, like I love the two movies with Angelica Houston, and of course Christina Ricci as Wednesday. I mean, I hope he can top that performance, because she was a pretty awesome Wednesday. So
I'm not familiar with Jenna Ortega. I probably, if I went through her filmography, I might recognize her from something, probably TV. Since TV guy, usually that's where I recognize most actors from first. Their first appearances on TV, but I'll give that a shot for sure. I really do, because it's Burton. I'm really interested, so we'll check that out. Before we get to our main topic of the day, there was one last thing, and I thought about not even putting this on here today, but this it's kind of an example of why I have such an issue. The virtue signaling in Hollywood, be it by the studio themselves or by the media trying to drum it up, because this just feeds the narrative in such a bad way. But that's neither here nor there. The headline reads this: Chronicle sequel in development with female lead. Like, oh man, dude, why'd you have to say with female lead? Why don't you just put Chronicle sequel in development, man? That'd be cool. And just, I don't know. Anyways, so looks like Chronicle's getting a sequel. The 2012 found footage movie Chronicle was huge upon its release, kickstarting the career of director Josh Trank, putting actors like Dane DeHaan and Michael B. Jordan on the map. It's also huge success at the box office, right? They did Chronicle for $12 million, and it grossed $126 million worldwide. Plus, what I think they were talking to one of the producers that said it was the most financially successful movie in his stable. And we're working on Chronicle 2 right now. I think it's going to be great. We're working on it at 20th Century Studios. He said Fox, but whatever. It's going to give us a chance to tell the story in a different way. We're going to tell it from a female point of view. It'll have been 10 years since the event happened in Seattle, and a lot of it's going to deal with fake news and real news and cover-ups. More interestingly, It's the next generation getting these powers and that are corruptive. These are young women just finishing college. They are empowered, and this is their journey. I mean, what a new and interesting story can you tell there? I'm like, okay, yeah, it seems like we've been telling that story over and over again for the last several years. But this is kind of interesting to me, just because I liked Chronicles so much. The problem, first of all, I guess I don't have problems. I have questions, right? Is it going to be found footage? Because no, thank you. With another found footage movie, and I mean, what's going to be different, except that we're kind of setting it 10 years later with the same kind of it was the same kind of thing, people finding out they have powers and how it corrupts them or what they're going to do with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, Scotty. What do you think?
Well, I agree in terms of leading off being like, now we have a Lady Chronicle. I think that is just a way to drum up the response from the internet. But yeah. I think in and of itself, it's kind of an interesting premise, either going like with a Mean Girls or The Craft kind of approach to Chronicle. I'm okay with the found footage if they are, again, the ubiquitousness of camera, like cell phones having cameras, everything being on camera. It could be the same way that it was just sort of surveillance footage, and if it's dealing with news and such, then flashing over to news coverage would be interesting as well. If it's a straight narrative, I'm fine with that too. But I don't think that this is sort of the we'll make it again and it'll be women. I don't think it's that, because I do think that if you're dealing with high school kids, then it is a different perspective, and it could work. We'll see what happens.
I hope not, man. I don't get the warm and fuzzies from reading what the producer there, it's John Davis, by the way, said.
Yes.
Kat, what are your quick thoughts on that?
No interest. That's like, I thought the first Chronicle was okay. I mean, I didn't get the hype over that. And if they don't do found footage, then that's one of the most unique things about that movie. So it'd be kind of weird if it wasn't found footage. And it's like, yeah, it sounds like you're doing the same thing again. And like, oh, if it's women, it'll be different. It's like, well, not really, because it's still the same thing. We're discovering we have these superpowers, and the first movie was very low key in how they did it. And it's like, what do you expect to be different by just having different characters, or in high school might be even more. It's like it just sounds like they're cheaply doing the same thing again. I don't care about their commentary on the whole news culture and all that. It's like, does that really need to be there? It's like, okay, it's probably a pass for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Black Phillip Alvarez, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kat. I mean, I enjoyed Chronicle, but I think it's one of those sequels that's kind of too late. You probably could have done a sequel like a year or two afterwards, but now almost when did it come out? 2012, almost 10 years later. I mean, you can get away with it, with doing a District 9 sequel because, well, you don't know where it's going to go. But I mean, just the way you just described the synopsis, I'm like, no, I'm not interested. Even if it is found footage, or if they do, probably just going to be like another rehash just with females instead.
I wish we'd get away from doing that. I'm all for female-led movies. I watch them all the time, but I wish we'd stop just saying, okay, this was successful. Let's just put a bunch of women in the same roles and tell the same story. I think we've done that to death, but I don't know. That's why I'm not running Hollywood. Co-hosting a YouTube show. Turier, what do you think?
Well, I just want a more dramatic headline. I'm just waiting for like Chronicle 2 in the works with a talking hippo.
Right.
I'll watch that.
That would be great. But not really interested in that. I think, I watched the original Chronicle in Norway before the hype reached us, so I was just really surprised at how good that movie was. Yeah. But there's not like there's been any shows the last 10 years about people finding powers, have there?
No.
None.
Bereft.
No.
So that sounds awfully original. And a woman?
Yeah.
No.
I think just do relatively bad Netflix original movie with the exact same premise.
Yeah.
People finding out they have regular people developing powers.
Project Power, or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
they just did that, but no, let's just do it again. But I was like,
Yeah.
but even
Let's slap another name on it.
didn't like Heroes came out before Chronicle.
yeah,
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
in terms of something that is coming out, and it's like, well, have we seen people get powers? And like they did 4 seasons of a television show, and there's always going to be those people unexpectedly get superpowers. Here's their origin story, and here's what they're going to do with it. And I do like, hey, I don't want to fall back on the lady tropes, but it's like if they do a Babysitter's Club, or maybe they don't go evil, or maybe they all go evil. Maybe, who knows? Or maybe they're going to have the origins of where the rocks came from that made them the Chronicle people in the first place. But my excitement for the original was just because the last act of that movie was the closest that I ever came to an Akira movie. So,
so
speaking of Akira, I just want to mention Akira is actually coming back to theaters in Norway next month.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I wish it was coming back to theaters here. I just missed out before pandemic. It was Regal at the time was running a bunch of Studio Ghibli stuff and others, not just that studio. And Akira was one of them. I just missed out on going on. I want to see it in the theater. There is no mention of Josh Trank, and I don't think that Josh Trank is interested in going back here. I don't think too many people are interested in having Josh Trank direct movies right now.
I did read further in the article, and it said that one of the reasons that there hasn't been a Chronicle sequel sooner is because Josh Trank has been throwing monkeys in the wrench along the way anytime it gets raised in Hollywood.
Yeah. And if I was him, I'd do the same thing. Like, dude, look, what I did was a once in a lifetime thing. Don't ruin it, right? I can see where he's probably thinking that. But besides that, so if it's not, obviously it's not going to be Trank, who would you like to see direct this movie? If it's actually going to be, a good script that actually going to, do something more than just, wash, rinse, and repeat.
The
10th film by Quentin Tarantino, Chronicle 2.
Chronicle.
Damn.
Then he'd really retire after that.
Right?
It's just jokes, guys. It's just jokes.
Yeah, it's just jokes. That's a funny one, too. Anybody have any? Does it even matter?
I don't know. Like the only thing, and also looking through the release on that, Max Landis is not exactly someone who's writing movies currently. Love him or hate him, and a lot of people hate him. He's not. He proposed a sequel as well, and it was nope. This studio wanted nothing to do with it. So I don't know. It's a brand new creative team, and so. You guys are talking me out of it. I still think it could do something, but
I'd be surprised. I'll be surprised if this actually gets greenlit.
Okay,
to be honest, but it looks like they're developing the script at least. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any last thoughts before we hit our main topic for the day?
Make it go away.
All right. Yep. Okay, so
be original.
Yeah, be original. So Collider put out the 13 most underrated sequels of all time. I figured we'd run through them real quick and then see if anybody else, if we agree, and if we have any other sequels we might want to add to the list. First on the list is Scream 4. Yays, nays, no's?
If you know me, yes.
Yeah. I'll say so. Catherine says no. J says no. Black Phillip Pepper says
unbiased.
Yeah. Scotty,
Steve, what do you got?
Surprise.
I have no. I have a no on that one.
And I am blissfully ignorant. I have not seen. I've seen Scream 1.
I actually would have said 3 instead of 4, actually, but that's me.
What's that?
So
I would have said 3 instead of 4.
Oh, okay.
Out of the 4 Scream movies, can you put them in order, Phil? From favorite to least?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
In
pretty
that
much.
exact order, pretty much. I mean,
But
I'm
not
trying to be
in-
sarcastic. But
No, not at all.
that's
But out of
probably
the,
order.
No, yeah.
but in terms of that, you would say that after the first one, so we're just discounting the first one in the list.
Mhm.
Out of the sequels to Scream, you think that 2 is the best one, or after the first one?
Well, the
Yeah,
first one can't be a
two's the
sequel.
Best
Yeah.
one. The
No,
third
yeah,
one.
yeah.
The third one is underrated because 4 came out. I mean, 4 was just an updated version of Scream 1 anyway. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Third one had Lance Henriksen and like the whole
it had
Hollywood mogul thing. Yeah,
It had the
was
best
kinda cool.
twist. Actually, I have
thought the
I
third
have a
one was a fun
poster
popcorn
right there.
movie to put your brain off and just kind of, chat out on popcorn and enjoy it. But the fourth one, not only did I not think the fourth one was scary at all, there was something going on with the cinematography where the lighting looked really odd. It didn't look natural, like super saturated, super bright. And I'm like, this is really off-putting to me. But it's like, yeah, it was felt more like an updated version of Scream 1, as much as they tried to talk about, the remake, the style of, the killer's doing a remake or a reboot. So, well, they mentioned that for the novelty of it, but it doesn't really feel, it's like, it's just,
I think it was
I
rushed. I think it was rushed because that's when Craven started getting sick. So with his cancer, so they kind of rushed it.
And
Hey.
we'll welcome Todd Michael to the. Hey, buddy.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Greetings.
This is
Hello, Todd
a
Michael.
conversation I was listening to, and I think I would really like to participate in.
Awesome.
Well, welcome.
Any thoughts on a Scream 4? I think
It is
we
as
kind of came to a
interchangeable-
consensus that Scream 3 might be the better choice than Scream 4.
At this stage in time, I don't think I could tell you what the difference is between any of those anymore.
Gotcha.
It's
Gotcha.
all kind of the same. They all blur together.
Yeah.
Screams are different.
Yeah.
Okay,
The screams
Terry.
are just a little different in each one. Next on the list, which is one of my favorite sequels, The Exorcist Part 3.
Yes.
Legion.
Now,
Yes. Or Heretic.
The Heretic.
Or sorry, no. Legion.
two
is-
Two. Two's Heretic.
Yeah, Exorcist 2 is Heretic. Legion is the third one.
Yep.
What did you think, Todd Michael? What did you think of the
Exorcist-
George C. Scott?
Exorcist Legion, as I knew it as. I know
Yeah.
it's changed and they renamed it. I seem to remember it being an adequate film. Exorcist 2, The Heretic, is one of the single worst pieces of cinema ever filmed.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So compared to its immediate successor, previous film, it's fantastic.
Hmm.
But nothing beats. I mean, with sequels, let's face it. You did it need to be made? Absolutely not. But it was better.
Sure. No movie needs to be made.
Exactly.
But I did like George C. Scott. I've always been a fan of George C. Scott, and I thought
I miss
after
him.
after the Abomination, which was Exorcist 2, The Heretic, that 3 was actually a decent movie and worthy of the name again.
I've seen both versions of Exorcist 3 because Arrow put out and Scream Factory put out a release where they had cut together the original cut of the film, but they had used like really, really poor VHS copies, and
Oh
the sound and the image was horrible. So it was kind of watching it for the experiment, because it kind of pulled you out of the movie every other minute. So I didn't really like the experience, but it was educational. But I think the theatrical cut is a good movie, and there's a lot of scenes in there that are really creepy.
Yeah. Catherine?
I like the Exorcist 3. I do feel that to Todd Michael's point, after the second one came out, and just the bad people were just like, and they just kind of wrote it off and didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. But I like the third one. I think it's a good entry.
Okay, cool. Black Phillip Alvarez?
Yeah, I agree with Exorcist 3. I mean, they didn't really kind of have the Exorcist until like towards the end. They had it kind of added it in because everybody's like, it's called the Exorcist 3, but there's no exorcism. So
Right.
I think they went back and redid some scenes to actually do exorcism. But yeah,
The
it's
season
They
of the
did
witch.
because in the original cut there really isn't an exorcism at all.
no, they're not. I have that shell version too, Terrors.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun movie. I mean, it's a fun little movie. I mean, certainly
Scotty?
better than Exorcist 2. So.
Well, and I luckily dodged a bullet. I didn't have to watch The Exorcist 2, but I did see The Exorcist 3 this past Halloween, and I really, really liked it. I'm also a big fan of George C. Scott. Brad Dourif, obviously, is creepy AF. And I thought it was good. There was interest. The cinematography, it really knew when to hold, and it was anticipation and not boring. I enjoyed it, and as we've mentioned before, I'm brushing up on my horror, and but that is one of the ones that I've actually seen, and I did like it, and it freaked me out. I enjoyed it, and I've watched it since then as well.
So the next on the list is probably going to be my favorite on this list or any other list, and that's Blade Runner 2049, which I believe is a masterpiece of a film.
Can I ask a question here?
You can.
Oh, they're putting this on a list of underrated sequels.
Yes.
See, that's underrated. That the definition there is kind of where I guess I think for a sci-fi community, like we are all kind of a part of. I think for us, it's not underrated in the slightest.
No, but I think so this is what happens with these lists, right? So there's underrated, meaning it was critically underrated, right?
Critically underrated. Okay.
Which Blade Runner 2049 was not. It was liked by the critics. Nobody
Financially
went to
underrated.
See it. Right? So it didn't make money. So I think, I wish they would actually put their criteria on these lists. But underrated as far as audience, then yes, this one absolutely makes the list because it should have been seen by everybody, and nobody really saw it.
But yes. I also know several people who went to Blade Runner 2049 and didn't know there was a Blade Runner from 1982.
Oh wow!
And if I know several of those people, there are a lot more.
Yeah.
Well. And when I saw 2049 in theater, I was sitting there and I was absolutely rapt. I dug it. I love it. Blade Runner is in my top 3 favorite movies of all time, and 2049 was great. But the guy in front of me in the theater, when Harrison Ford showed up, he was like, finally, until Harrison Ford showed up, it was boring or something. And I was just like, are you crazy? This is great.
Like 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah. And so I do know some people from the Blade Runner community who don't like it and think that it's sort of a poor cover song of the original. But I
just the Blade Runner community that just what?
Oh, there are dozens of us.
Before this film, there was only Blade Runner in 7 different edits of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, so what does?
You just have to find out how many people had the briefcase set of either the HD DVD, the Blu-ray, or the DVD. If you owned it, you're part of the community. That's what I was told.
Okay, super nerd moment. I had the briefcase. I had a gun from the movie.
Oh, nice.
I had the matchbox from the nightclub. I had some scales from the snake on the fucking stripper woman.
Mm-hmm.
I had his VidPhone card and his ID card.
Holy moly.
So yes, Turge, at your duty. I'm from the Blade Runner community. Would you like to hear about our great offers?
20% off.
Have you heard the good news?
Black Phillip Alvarez?
So, there is a community.
I mean, I like the first Blade Runner, but there's sort of this running joke between me and Captain Cogney Spock how he's been trying to get me to finish watching 2049 and I haven't. And he did. And so I got him he wants to watch Tenet. He watched Tenet. He hasn't finished Tenet. So I'll finish 2049 when you finish Tenet, and then we'll talk. So
there we go. Catherine, what do you think?
That'll pretty much tell you.
I'm surprised that they're trying to say that it's critically underrated because it's not.
It's not.
And clearly the director was in much more control of what he was doing and much more confident than Ridley Scott because there's how many versions of the original movie? It's And I
there's
found that
four.
because I don't see how they could say it's under just because it flopped at the box office, and that was largely attributed to the fact that the marketing was
That's right.
banking on nostalgia and not really, like when I bought the Blu-ray. You know how they always pick like a blurb from like a critic to put on there. Well, the blurb they picked is that a great movie that is not dependent on you having seen the original, and they put that in big bold writings because they recognized that the fact that the marketing was like that for the theaters. That's why it bombed. I'm like, because it should have been a big, financial success. And so I wonder if they just put that on the list because, like you've observed in the past, they want to get clicks.
Probably. I don't think they. Yeah, and I think they're just saying, like I said, I wish they'd put their criteria. What they how they determine what's underrated, because underrated to me is critically underrated, right? That this is absolutely not that list. This is just what they deem as underrated. Next on the list is Gremlins 2: The New Batch.
Saw it in theater.
Yes, so did I.
Me as well.
Yeah, I love Gremlins 2. I like Gremlins 2 better than I like the first one. And it didn't even a couple of years ago, someone said, so is Gremlins your favorite Christmas movies? And I was like, oh yeah, it is a Christmas movie. But I revisit Gremlins 2 far more. It's always nice to hear Tony Randall's voice. And I just enjoy the satire of, like, it's almost a parody of the first one. And I love the goofy, off-the-wall, batshit crazy nature of it. And I can't even remotely imagine something that unhinged being, like, made now. It was everything I wanted. Oh, my God. Is it John Glover who plays Clamp? Yeah, and he was amazing. And he's, like, I was introduced to him from that. Everything about this movie is, in my opinion, fantastic. And also, it's got the holographic doctor from Voyager in it. And at the end, he marries a lady gremlin. So that's all. I'm sold.
That part is in there.
Terje, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I agree. That movie is really fun. I don't like it as much as I like the original, mind you. I don't, but I do really like the satire part of it and the parody part. My favorite scene is when the character Phoebe Cates plays rehashes her story about her father dying as Father Christmas in her chimney, because she also has a horrible memory from, is it Lincoln Day?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's just pure on parody of the first movie, where like every holiday she has a horrible memory.
And I love that part where she sort of just zones out and looks like, has the 100-yard stare, and then it's like, okay, we'll go.
Todd Michael, what do you think?
I seem to remember it as being a quintessential 80s film. And that, to me, being a teen in the 80s, it holds a special place in my heart. Terje hit it right on the head there, though, with the whole thing about making fun of Phoebe Cates's. It's a parody of itself. So is it a sequel? Yes, technically, but it's like a meta self-aware sequel when such things were not being done.
Yeah,
because that was what, 86? I can't remember the year.
No,
I don't have it in front of me.
1990.
The original was 84, and the sequel was 1990.
Okay, so it was later. I associate it with being earlier in the 80s, but it must be the original. But you weren't seeing a lot of meta-aware humor back then in films. And I now you make me want to go see it again.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Catherine, what do you think?
Watch it, too.
Catherine, what are you thinking?
It's a really fun movie. It's also got Christopher Lee in it, which is another highlight.
That's right.
Murray gets his chance to take out the Gremlins, which he didn't really get that chance in the first movie after telling his story. Yeah, it's fun. It's very meta, like everybody said, but I do like the first one a lot better. Because Stripes is one of my favorite all-time movie monster characters. But yeah,
Howie Mandel, Howie Mandel, and Hulk Hogan too, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of cameos in the sequel.
Yeah. Black Phillip Alvarez.
Oh yeah, I love Gremlins 2. I mean, me being a horror guy, I like Gremlins 2 better than Gremlins 1. And Gremlins 2 is more of a comedy than a horror. So yeah, I mean, to me, Joe Dante has always said Gremlins 2 is a big FU to the studio because the first one got criticism for being, too violent and too horror and it was billed as a comedy. So he was like, "Well, FU, I'm gonna do whatever I want with this one." He gave us a lady gremlin and a spider one. I went nuts with this.
Right.
I mean, yes, definitely definition of meta before a movie like Scream came out. So. Yeah. You call it the original meta movie if you want to call, if you want to say that.
I haven't.
I love it. It's a great movie.
I think I've only seen this one time, and I don't really remember it, so I'd have to revisit it to really have a,
It's a fun little movie.
But maybe I'll check it out again.
Down there,
Yeah. Okay, so next up is Psycho 2.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'm on board.
Sergey, go.
I am on board because I've never seen it before, and I saw it like a year ago. I bought the Arrow release, and I was really surprised because it's a pretty tight little thriller there. And Anthony Perkins really does a good job at playing the duality of how he has been in rehabilitation. Mm-hmm. He's become better, but pretty early on it begins to crumble.
Yeah,
and I really think it's quite an entertaining psychological thriller.
Yeah, I liked it too. I think it was really good. I think it was a great follow-up. Black Phillip Alvarez, what do you think about Psycho 2? Does that one deserve to be on this list?
I've actually never really seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the first Psycho, and I've heard of it, and I own all the movies on Blu-ray. I just haven't had the chance to watch it.
Yeah,
Oh wow!
When you get a chance, Psycho 2 is pretty good. I think it belongs on the list. Catherine, what do you think?
Never seen any of the Psycho sequels, but I have 3 or 4 different copies of the original. 3 different steelbooks. Yeah, 3 steelbooks of the original and a DVD of the original.
Wow. Todd Michael?
An completely forgettable sequel to a film that should never have had a sequel.
Oh.
How many other sequels are there to Hitchcock films?
The 40 stacks.
All right.
Well, there is Psycho 3 and 4.
Oh. And there's the Birds 2.
The Bird 2.
The only memory I distinctly have of it, it's the first film I ever saw, Megtillion. I think I was 12 or 13 when it came out. But, I remember going to see it in the theater, actually, because I seem to recall there not being anything else that we wanted to see that weekend or something. And I remembered Perkins from... honestly, The Black Hole, because I was 12 years old. I was relatively a kid then. So, and I had seen the actual Psycho heavily edited on television before. And, I just don't have any memories of it being anything memorable. And then as an adult, seeing it again later in the 90s, I still stand by that. It's totally forgettable for me.
Okay. Next on the list is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Do we think that's belongs on this list? Let's start with Black Phillip Alvarez this time.
I'll be back in
really underrated.
3-4
I never
minutes.
really heard anybody call it underrated. Some say it's just as good as the first one, so if not better. I like it, but I wouldn't call it underrated though. I think it's just as beloved as Excellent Adventure was. So I don't get that choice.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Catherine, what do you think?
I agree with Phil.
Yeah. Scotty?
I like them both, and I would say that they are equal. I agree with Phil and Kat. We're all just agreeing.
Todd Michael?
I agree, and I think it's far better than the recent sequel from last year that I still have not been able to make it more than about 10 minutes through without just not caring about it.
I don't really care about any of these movies. I never liked them, any of them.
None of the Bill and Ted's?
No way.
Nah, no way. Yeah, it just weren't for me. I think I've seen both of these movies. They were. I mean, they were just okay. The first Bill and Ted was okay. This one was okay too. But underrated. I wouldn't have put that on this list. I don't think it's underrated. I think people who liked it really liked it. I think critically it did fine. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that seems like a weird choice to put on the list.
Now I'm gonna bring something up here, and I'm just curious.
Sure.
Do you think when you see a film like okay, so I saw Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey when it aired, and I was the audience it was aimed at. You know, I was in early college at the time. Do you think how old you are when you're exposed to something like, okay, so I was the perfect age at that time. When did you guys come? Did you see that movie when it was in the theater? Or did you see it years later when you were older?
No, I saw them as they were released. That particular film. Yeah,
I saw them both in theaters, and that was 14, 10 when the first one came out.
And I saw them.
Second one.
I saw them much later. I never was something that I went to the theater. I never rented. I never saw them until I was probably in my 30s when I saw Bogus Journey and Excellent Adventure, and I liked them. I thought that they were endearing, but as you said before with Gremlins 2, it was sort of like looking at a scrapbook, and I can remember friends being into it, and that was the sort of, it was almost nostalgia through someone else's eyes watching those two flicks.
That's exactly what I was just curious about, was if you see something when it's part of the pop culture fabric at the time it's having its moment, and versus when you see it and you're not privy to it, and you come across it 15 years later on DVD. Can you compare it in the same light, I wonder? Not saying underrated, better, or anything. I'm just wondering how can we really, I don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind.
Well, no, and to speak to that point, if it's much later and it's not part of the zeitgeist of the time, it's not of the moment, like going back, you can sort of look at, let's say, Mad Max Beyond, like Mad Max, Road Warrior, and Beyond Thunderdome, and you can sort of have an idea as to which one you prefer, and you can look at those objectively on your own while it's still being, a subject to the passage of time. Maybe because the Road Warrior movies are sort of timeless unto themselves, but even if you look like at Superman, and you can say, I like Superman 2 better than I like Superman 1. That kind of thing. If I'm understanding your meaning right.
Well, I was you when you were describing your own experience, looking back, and you were almost seeing a snapshot of a period in time, and I was just wondering how age really helps us, or is problematic for us to watch a film that we weren't exposed to when it was at its cultural zeitgeist moment.
It's the same argument Rob uses about the Goonies. He says he was at that age where
I am with Rob on there. I was already older. I was in my mid-teens. That movie does not exist to me. Yes. And it has no. I was there for when it came out, but it's like, yeah, it's a movie. It's okay. It's not poorly made, but I don't have any heartfelt feeling for it.
And I'm sort of on the same page as you, Todd Michael, in that I remember the birthday party that I was at when that came out, and they rented a VCR and got the videos, and it was on. And I remember about 15 minutes into it being the kid in the backyard playing by myself, just being like, I'm not into this at all. It just wasn't for me. And then revisiting it later, I was like, nope, I was right the first time. So...
How many people in that cast, though, have gone on to amazingly big things is kind of great.
Absolutely. Robert Davi.
Yeah. The next on the list is Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Okay.
What the heck?
Totally underrated.
I don't know about this list, man.
Well, no, it's fine.
Sorry, that's strong, but man.
Yeah.
I never bothered watching the original Aladdin, so.
Catherine, what do you think?
That's like a direct-to-video thing. So is it even going to have the exposure for you to even consider it underrated? Oh yeah, I agree. It wasn't a bad movie. It was good, but good by Disney's direct-to-video standards, which are usually pretty low, because the second one was just really bad. But is that something people are really talking about in us anyway? to put on that kind of list. It's like,
all right, you know, I'm
I'm a-
going to skip it because I
skip
agree
it.
with you,
Like, no.
100%.
Like, no,
Scotty,
skip
did
this
you want to
one.
say something?
I was going to say, don't say an unkind word about
Oh.
Return of Jafar.
Well,
I
and
loved Return of Jafar.
Robin Williams is in that.
Robin
And
Williams
so
is
is
that.
Jonathan Rhys Davies, right?
In this
So-
one, yeah.
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 In
In the third
in
one,
The King of Thieves. But it was Dan Castellaneta as the genie in Return of Jafar.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, burn. Just kidding.
But,
Okay, so
Yeah.
the next one on the list is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Do we think that's an
Sequel series.
underrated movie?
I can name any Friday the 13th movie.
Is there any difference between any of them since the second movie where Jason actually really appeared?
I don't think so.
And he wasn't even the hockey face Jason until the third one.
Third
Right.
one.
So
Yeah,
it's-
the second one
they're
is
all-
Potato Sack Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I couldn't
this-
tell them apart.
this
Which
isn't
one
the one
has
where-
Crispin Glover?
This isn't the
Four.
one in space, right?
Okay.
no.
Final Chapter.
No,
That's
no.
X, right?
That's Jason X.
That's 10.
What is the one with the imposter that's not actually Jason? Is that what 6 is?
Five, 6.
which one does he go back in time and start
Yes,
killing people in the
Bill's the big
past?
Jason there among all of us. He didn't even know either. It's like,
Right.
You know what? I have seen all
I'm not
those
that big into
movies.
Friday
Like
13th, honestly.
I've seen them like 3 or 4 times, but I cannot tell them apart.
No,
Yeah, me neither. Me
Can't.
neither.
the first two only.
Yeah,
I've seen the first.
and after that, it kind of gets a bit more wavy.
Yeah. Next on the list is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, I know a lot of people did not like this one. They didn't feel like it was a
Not when it.
true sequel. I actually liked this one. I thought it was pretty trippy.
It's a fun movie.
I liked it too. We'll start with you, Black Phillip. I know you liked this one.
Well, it's a
Do
fun
you,
movie.
do you
I
feel
mean,
that this is underrated?
yeah, I would call it underrated because people didn't like it at first because it didn't have Michael Myers in it. So, which is why when they did part 4, they brought back Michael Myers. But yeah, I'd call it underrated because it's a fun little flick. They tried to do something different, tried to do like an anthology series with every sequel, but fans were like, we just want Michael Myers back. And so they just brought back Michael Myers after that. But yeah, I like Season of the Witch. It's actually pretty creepy.
Terje, what do you think?
I really like it. I think it's a fun movie. It has Atkins in it, which is always great.
Mhm.
And I think that that TV theme they have going through the movie is really catchy and kind of puts kind of yeah. Silver Shamrock.
It's got a great
It's cool. The masks are cool. There's melting people.
Right?
There's cool stuff in there, and I really like it when I come across people who are like
Melting?
aggressive and angry over the fact that it's like it isn't Halloween because there's no Michael Myers. And I've also seen like covers of the movie with Michael Myers on it, with the tagline "The night no one came home."
I
So,
still try to market it.
like Black Phillip was saying, the original plan for Halloween was for it to be an anthology series. So each movie was going to be a Halloween movie about something else. But then people fell in love with William Shatner, the killer. So,
Yes.
yeah. But
Okay.
I'm all for number 3. I loved it when I got the Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Catherine?
I really like the atmosphere in this movie. It does feel really creepy, the kind of mystery element to it. The Agent Smith guys that are chasing him, it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. The idea that the evil warlock or witch or whatever is basically like a corporate suit is also very bizarre. Like the whole finale, this is happening in like a warehouse. So and they're trying to channel all this weird cult. It's like, okay. Like, I thought it kind of falls apart a bit at the end, but I like the ending in that it actually, all the shit hits a fan. But I think John Carpenter's plan for this to be an anthology series would have worked if that movie was better received. It's like, yeah, people were bummed Michael wasn't in it, but a lot of people just, at the time didn't really like the movie by itself. Like it gained a much bigger cult following in the years afterwards.
It's
So I
definitely a
think
cult classic.
Yeah, I think if they made some improvements to it, like the stuff I mentioned, then maybe it would have worked as an anthology series. But Yeah, it's okay. It's good.
Cool. Scotty?
Never seen it.
Okay. Todd Michael?
It is the skippable. It says in the article it's the skippable one, and I skipped it.
Yeah.
I
Todd
will.
Michael?
I will state this is another one. I was 12 years old when it came out and saw it in the theater. I had the novelization of it.
Nice.
Really?
Yes.
Nerd.
I don't know why. I don't remember how I got it, but I remember because I did have it. And what was great is the masks were heavily reproduced in knockoff form, and I had the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern mask for most of my teen years and early into my 20s, and I used to wear it all the time when we go to parties.
Oh, yeah.
So I agree with a lot of what Catherine said, but I was 12 when it came out, and it had that kind of odd vibe to it of being creepy, and the damn song, the commercial is memorable as hell to me. So is it underrated? I don't want to go there the other there, but it's got its own little uniqueness to it that it will never be taken away from it.
Sure.
And you can't insert Michael Myers into it in any shape, way, or form.
Yeah, no. Next on the list is Neighbors 2 Sorority Riding.
No.
Who came up with this list?
Completely underrated. Completely. Out of the two movies in the Neighbors pantheon, I think that this one is the most maligned.
I don't remember, but
Is Zac Efron in this one?
it's Seth Rogen. I don't think
so.
Neighbors 2.
Yes.
So,
This one,
has anybody seen these movies and
Yes,
care?
I've seen them, but no.
We'll move
I
on.
don't care. Next.
Yeah. Oh, you
I
have
have no idea what this is.
I'm familiar with it. I've seen the
next-
trailer, but I don't know.
That's funny. Next on the list is Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
I really
Anybody
enjoy
wanna-
New Nightmare.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Catherine's
Cat is
blood.
nuts.
Catherine's a bitch.
We got a Terje up. We got a Catherine down.
Uh-oh.
That was a bad movie. I mean, I've heard so much about it and how everybody's going on how great it is, and I watched it. I'm like, okay, this isn't scary. And Wes is talking about how he wanted to make Freddy scary again, and it's like he's really not. And the plot was like, okay, we're trying to kind of do the first thing movie again, but we don't want to really lean into it 100%. And they tried to do the kind of meta thing, but it's like, this isn't scary. It doesn't have the eerie atmosphere of the original. And I didn't think he really did anything to make Freddy really dark or like everybody's been talking about. It's like, eh.
Yeah, I hear you.
Fair.
I wasn't a big fan of this one either. Black Phillip
That's
Alvarez.
fair. Well, yeah, it's Freddy. Freddy's my guy, so I'm never going to talk bad about Freddy. So, yeah. But underrated.
You think it's yeah.
Underrated. You can name a lot of Freddy sequels underrated. So,
Yeah.
like I call
Todd
Freddy
Michael,
vs.
what do you
Jason
think?
more underrated than.
No real opinion on it. Dream Warriors, Nightmare 3 is still my all-time favorite.
Yeah. I like that one too.
So I love the early ones, but this one is just, how many was it? 10 films after the first couple? I mean, it was like,
It's number
What-
6.
New
Yeah,
Nightmare
it's-
number 7.
So,
Okay.
yeah, 7.
Seven movies.
forget. It's
Yeah.
no
Terje,
opinion
what
on
do you
it.
think?
Well, I hear what Catherine's saying. I just don't agree. But
Okay.
that's fine. No,
That's fine.
when I watched the movie, it had come off from like Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and 6, who were both kind of goofy. He was into this whole thing with Freddy being funny. I thought it was excellent seeing Heather Langenkamp again and John Saxon. And I really dug the meta aspect of the movie. I think that really worked. I just see it as, if you have like normal Elm Street movies here, New Nightmare is like way over there somewhere. It's a different movie. It's a different movie. It stands apart.
Perfect
But
description.
I really like it. But I think that the most underrated sequel in the Elm Street series is number 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Scotty?
Well, well, in terms of New Nightmare, I can understand having a distaste for it based on the third act because it does get a little wacky by the end. But I thought that the mounting questions as to what was going on and incorporating the supernatural into the real world of the film, I thought it was a good precursor to Scream in terms of being that meta commentary on the horror of the time. And when I first saw it, it was on TV. It was late at night. I had the lights off, and I remember turning the lights on. Now this would have been ages ago, but I found it was scary enough for me. And then I guess that was the light switch that I kind of understand where you're coming from, Kat. That was the light switch when I was like, this isn't that scary. But the build up to the final act, I thought I was nail biting.
Well, that's why I kind of wish they did. I wish they leaned into the meta aspects a lot more by saying that, okay, so Freddy's real. It's like, well, saying Freddy's real is kind of like what you did in the first movie. Like, it's the novelty of saying, okay, these are all actors and directors, but Freddy's real. It's like they're trying to make it seem doubly scary because, this was just a movie we made, but now it's coming to life. It's like, well, that's kind of what the original is in a way. It's like these kids are hearing this nursery rhyme, they're hearing a story about, this guy that got killed by the, angry parents, and now he's back. It's like, it felt like they were trying to doing the same thing again, and then the third act, it's not really went off the rails. Just,
Yeah.
I can't deny that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, the third act kind of falls apart. So yeah, Captain's sort of half right.
Well, as long as someone thinks that it's not that great, it does mean that it's underrated. So good for you, List.
Right?
Good for you, List.
Two more on the list, and then we'll go over and check out what the chat's saying. Curse of Chucky is the next one. Anybody want to jump in on this one?
I would have said Bride of Chucky. Not Curse of Chucky.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I tapped out of these movies after the first one. Second one was Bride of Chucky. The second one.
I don't know. Bride of Chucky was the third one.
It might be. I don't.
When
know.
you can't tell, that tells you everything. I mean,
Yeah.
Which one?
I answered my own question.
Yeah, exactly.
Which one's Seed of Chucky?
Which one? What, the one with the doll?
Fifth one.
Who
All dolls.
Yeah.
who had Dr. Jillian Taylor from Star Trek 4?
Right. Yeah, I can't. I didn't like any of those movies. Okay, so the last one on the list is Shanghai Nights.
No.
No,
Go to hell.
I don't even think it's underrated. It's probably perfectly rated. I think all those movies are garbage. But that's just
If
me.
anything, it's overrated.
Yeah. I do like Donnie Yen though.
So
So
like Shanghai Nude, but no, not Shanghai Nights.
all right, so that's the list.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
May I
go
ask
ahead.
a question, Mr. Foley?
You
I would
may.
like to, before you go to the chat, I'm curious, let's just go off the list briefly and actually say what do you think are good underrated sequels? Because I know I have a few that some people even totally forgot are sequels.
God, you said one
Absolutely.
earlier.
I said we are going to do that, and I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. We'll
I
start
did.
with you, Todd Michael.
Well, we talked about it. I think I was in the chat the other day talking with Scotty on it. It was 2010, the year we make contact.
Absolutely.
I think that it's you. I don't think you can really put it in the same level of its original film. It's just not possible. But it is a serviceable science fiction, very underrated sequel.
Absolutely. Maligned at the time.
One of my favorites, T2 Trainspotting,
Yeah.
kind of came and went.
I don't think that's critically underrated though. I think critics like that movie.
Okay.
I believe.
I was just
I'd have to
okay.
check.
I'd have to go back. Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember it came and went, and I was
It
like,
did.
it was people just didn't. It didn't, jive with people like the original did, and of course, why would it?
Right.
It was decades later.
Right.
A Shot in the Dark, the second Pink Panther film.
Nice
I
choice.
think is a very. Most people forget about that one. I think that one is a very underrated sequel that is kind of gets forgotten because it doesn't have Pink Panther in the name. That's people are like, oh yeah, I saw it, but I forgot about it. And then my other sequels that are all things I think are better than the original, so that would not be underrated.
Right. Okay. Anybody else? Who wants to go next?
Well, I'm going to pull one, and because of the absolute poor quality that you guys are going to jump all over me for, I have two. One I think underrated. I think Star Trek V The Final Frontier is underrated. I think it is the movie that feels the most like the TV show. If you like cheesy special effects, the camaraderie between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and just the general crazy adventure. Are the special effects bad in 5? Uh-huh. Is the story questionable? You betcha. Is it kind of a ripoff of Star Trek, the original series? Uh-huh. But all of it comes together. It is not even a guilty pleasure. I love Star Trek 5, and everyone will punchline it to death, but it is one of my favorites. And the other one that I thought was underrated in terms of the 4 movies in the Mad Max theory, I recently revisited Thunderdome, and I love Thunderdome. Everyone craps all over Thunderdome.
Oh no, Thunderdome is fantastic.
Thunderdome's awesome.
But maybe I'm just traveling in the wrong circles. Tina Turner in Bartertown, and I thought, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. Once they get out of Bartertown, then it's all going to fall apart with the kids. And I was like, no, this is actually interesting world building. Does it make a whole lot of sense? No, but I like it.
Oh, it's a beautiful film to watch too. I think it's cinematography, and it's fantastic for what it is. The color, the beiges of the deserts and things. He keeps a very muted palette. I mean, here I'm talking about just a miscellaneous sci-fi film like that, but no, who remembers the original Mad Max film, really? Pre-apocalypse, it's a forgettable film. But it's a forgettable film when you see the Road Warrior and then you see the other one, Thunderdome.
Agreed.
I somewhat disagree. I think Hugh Keys-Barn really sells it as a memorable character for Toe Cutter in the first one. It's like I go back to him, and then the characters from Fury Road and stuff before I go back to the characters of Road Warrior. Even though I love Road Warrior.
Oh, Humongous is the best. Come on,
Lord Humongous.
Come on.
I love them both, but I have to say that the bad guy in Thunderdome is really cool. What's his name? The little guy riding on top of the guy with Down syndrome. That's just crazy movie making.
Terje, did you have any underrated sequels?
I was thinking. I also have a few movies, like Tal Michael said, that where I actually think the sequel is better than the original. I'll give one example, not go into it, but there's a movie called FX. And I really think that FX2 is the better one.
Is FX2 the one with Billy Connolly?
No, what? Billy Connolly?
Isn't Billy Connolly in that movie? I think he's in that movie. No,
it's possible. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember liking it.
It's the Australian guy who likes to take off his shirt. It's Brian Brown.
Brian Brown, yeah.
Oh,
Brian Brown.
No.
To take his shirt off.
I'm thinking of a different movie then.
Boondock Saints.
I loved FX. I liked the first one. I can't remember the second.
So the second one is cool. He has this clown where he has a suit where he can control the clown. But yeah.
I remember that.
I will pull out of my sci-fi hat. I will pull Tron Legacy.
Oh yes, I agree with you 100%.
I think that's a totally underrated movie. It has awesome score, awesome effects, cool characters, and they really do kind of pay proper homage to the original movie.
Agreed.
Anybody else?
I think The Matrix Reloaded is pretty underrated as a sequel.
Ooh, I like it.
I actually like that one better than the first one. So the thing about the first one is that I'm like, okay, so if you're saying that Neo is born within this world of in the pod and all that, he's been grown, and the fact that he's able to break all the laws of physics and do all these super amazing things in the digital Matrix world, and that means he's able to do it for a reason. Whereas if this were like a movie that didn't have the computerized world, we would just accept that, okay, he's the chosen one, whatever. Likewise with the Oracle, they're only able to communicate with her in the Matrix. That means that she has these abilities for a reason, thus she is not trustworthy. And the characters aren't really bringing these things up in the first movie, they're just kind of going with it, and I'm like, okay, given humanity's predicament, how is Neo's ability to be like Superman in the Matrix conducive to freeing, liberating humanity and all that? What exactly, the fact that they're trying to get you to really care about Zion and they didn't go there, that Morpheus kind of uses Neo more as a tool, as a means to an end, rather than really being his friend. And so it's like, I like the first one and the stuff that's going there, but The second one kind of leans into all that type of stuff. Neo actually is questioning the Oracle. Like, why should I trust you? He is questioning himself about, why exactly do I have these powers? You do learn about how the inner workings of the Matrix and all the rogue programs work. You learn that, okay, it's not that he killed Smith, which is a little weird how they did that at the end of the first movie. He just unplugged it like a corrupted file, which is now constantly copying itself because it doesn't know what else to do. And the way the architect kind of lays out exactly what the nature of the relationship with all this is, a very symbiotic relationship, which makes a lot of sense. And since Neo and Trinity's relationship was built up a lot more, I actually cared a lot more about him trying to save her than them all trying to save Morpheus in the first one. So I just think it really came together a lot more in tying together exactly what the story was, because I thought the first one was a bit too incomplete without a lot of those questions answered.
Awesome. Phil?
Nice. Not too many to name, but I'll probably get crap for this because I know Kat didn't like the very first one, but you can see the poster right there. I'd go with Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2.
Oh my god!
It's cheesy as hell, just as cheesy as the first one. But
I got one like that on my list too.
So yeah, you gotta have a cheesy movie to call it an underrated sequel. You gotta have at least a couple of cheesy movies in there.
Hellraiser Bloodlines is mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Teen Wolf 2, so you can see you see the poster. So
I've got a few.
Jason
Short Circuit 2.
Oh, really?
nice.
Which I think is
like that.
hilarious. I love that movie. I think it's
That's one of the most
underrated.
Racist depictions of an Indian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They beat a robot pretty much to death. He's a robot, but beat him to death pretty much.
So Short
That's
That's
Circuit.
the one where they use "We Need Another Hero."
Yes. Yes, it
Okay,
is.
Yeah.
I also
Remember
think
it.
Jaws 2 is underrated.
Oh, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. that
Once
was-
again, though, that was on Showtime ad nauseum right after it came out in the theaters, and I was
Yeah.
the right age, 10 years old, to sit there and watch that damn thing over and over. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So
Just when
also,
you thought it was safe to go in the water again.
yep. Also, I also think Damien Omen 2 is underrated
Ooh.
because I actually like that one, but it is underrated. Its Metascore is like 45. Hellbound also Hellraiser 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's the 4 that I had on my list. I'm looking at another list right now, but it has just about like all the ones that we already went through, and everybody said.
Nobody's bring up Alien 3 like Scotty did. So
Oh,
Yeah.
but we'll have a whole.
that's
get
another
to
conversation.
That's a
other
whole other show. Getting into it in an hour and a half in, we're going to be here
Yeah, that's a
until
whole show.
midnight.
It'll be
Yeah.
here
Right.
till then it'll go into my show then.
Escape from LA. That's an underrated one, I suppose.
For a few
Yeah,
dollars
maybe.
more is another one for me.
Yeah.
What was that,
And,
Cat?
and the French Connection too.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
The second installment in the Dollars trilogy.
You're right back.
of Sergio Leone.
Oh, and Scotty,
Okay.
Fletch Lives.
I was thinking about putting Fletch Lives on there because I remember it fondly. I haven't seen it in a while, and I didn't. I have it on the way. It's one of the few Blu-rays that are. It's the Blu-ray double bill that I have coming from Amazon as soon as it ships,
Cool.
and I will have. I think actually Ben and I from Cinema Gulp are going to be talking about Fletch, and I'm sure that Fletch Lives will come into play with that.
Yeah, and then Ghostbusters 2, which is on this list. I didn't realize that this didn't have a better Metacritic Metascore. Metascore is only 56, which is borderline, but it's not green; it's yellow. Anyway, so let's jump in the chat. Let's see what everybody's talking about today. Oh, look, it's Todd Michael.
Who is that? Hey,
Hi.
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Nah.
Todd Michael, I still want to see his Alien film.
Me
and
too.
it's the deletion of Alien 3 that I just get all uppity about. Naladoc, how you doing, Naladoc? District
I'm doing
9 was
well.
an unexpected little sci-fi treasure. It sort of flew in under the radar but exploded. So I'm looking forward to the sequel. District 9 2, all bugged
All
out.
bugged out. Good one.
Todd Michael says also, other than the impossibility of it even existing story-wise, I love Alien 3 director cut on the quadrilogy set, as do I. I like the assembly cut.
Is that what they
Is that-
call it?
Yes,
I forget
cut.
what they call it.
Sure.
It's not, I said director cut, but I don't know
Yeah.
it as anything else other. I know it's not really a true director cut because he hates anything to do with.
Yeah, he wasn't
Fox.
involved at all.
But I think other than the fact that the movie can't happen because you can't get an egg on the Sulaco, it's, I think it's a great film.
Why couldn't the alien have the queen laid an egg on the Sulaco?
Because we were established in Alien, she needs the egg laying huge abdomen.
The thing? Okay.
Yeah. Sack.
She needs her
peritoneal sack.
Crutch.
Oh, what is that?
Crutch.
There's a I forget what the I saw it and it was making a criticism on those kinds of things, and it was like, how do you kill a vampire? And it's like, oh, I know, stake through the heart, sunlight, garlic, and it's like, no, you can kill a vampire any way you want because they're fucking fictional. You can do whatever you want. So when it comes to that particular rule about the queen, what the queen is capable of in terms of the life cycle, I'm like, if we follow only the original Alien, then the reason that, I think it was Dallas was to be cocooned to become.
If that scene had been in it, nothing would make sense in Alien. So,
yeah. So, and I can play a little faster and loose with the how the egg got on the Sulaco in Alien 3.
And I can't, and I will never forget.
Well, then we will never speak again. Turget's binge stories are always so romantic with your Italian food and Stranger Things, stars.
Two large men in a couch.
Dinner,
Exactly what
the
I
show,
said.
his cinema of love.
love.
That's funny.
Degrassi knows. Hey, Degrassi.
I also forgot to say that my friend, Italian friend who made the food, he's gay.
Oh, that one.
Oh.
We've talked about him before.
Degrassi says, isn't Burton directing all 8 episodes as well?
Yes.
Know. Is he directing all 8? I just saw showrunner. I didn't see director, but that's even more enticing. That's great.
He's directing and executive producing.
Nice.
Degrassi Knoll says Jenna Ortega is super cute. Looks the part for sure. Yeah, I actually just saw a picture of her, and she does. I just hope she reaches Ricci proportions of caliber of character and actress, nothing else. Degrassi Knowles says 10 years is too long unless you're James Cameron. They could have turned over a dozen Chronicle sequels if they really wanted by now. Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah,
Well,
and
agree.
even and sounds just like the direct Cloverfield sequel, traditional narrative with female leads. And I was even thinking of Blair Witch 2, how they went to a more narrative as opposed to the found footage. We'll see. They could shift it. Todd Michael says, Turget, would you like to answer this question? Do you know which version of Akira?
I don't. I just saw this ad for the fact that it was coming for a limited theatrical run, so I'll have to check that out. But I'm gonna go watch it. Whatever version is showing.
And Todd Michael,
subtitles.
Well, and do you have a preference in term? Are you referring to the dubs or the or subtitles?
I once again experienced the original streamlined dub with Cam Clark.
Yep, that's
and that to me is always the voices I want to hear. So it's always a little unnatural to watch it on DVD now because it's the later dubs. And Cam Clark is one of my favorite voice actors of that era. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I was curious. Which one was going to air, or is it dubbed in Norwegian? I don't know. Turget?
No, hopefully not. I don't think that's ever been dubbed to Norwegian. The Ghibli movies have, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Japanese with subtitles. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's the way to go.
That's probably the best way to go. Darius Munchausen, hail the Phantasmagorium show. Darius, good to see you. Hail to Steve Foley, me. Turget, Catherine Black, Philip Alvarez, and I think this is before Todd Michael showed up, so we will include, even though I am editorializing.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll share my hail.
There he is.
Oh, there it is.
Degrassi says, yeah, that harsh lighting and blown out timing was a problem for Craven at the end. So, and I guess that even blew it.
I mentioned that That's when I was talking about Scream 4 and how bad the lighting is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So unnatural.
Exorcist 3 Legion is terrific. Absolutely perfect sequel, in my opinion. Do you guys think that E3 is perfect as a sequel?
I wouldn't call it perfect, but it's
Not
good.
perfect, but it's a good sequel.
Okay.
Good movie.
And Todd Michael Darius? Great. I don't want to speak for you, Todd Michael.
Tim. What's up, Tim?
Look, Tim. Timmy.
Live long and prosper.
And Phil.
Tim? Hello there at us and Phil.
And Phil.
That Phil.
And are we... and yeah, Tim's talk says, I liked Blade Runner 2049, and we're all pretty much in agreement that we liked Blade Runner 2049. Hello there to Tim's talk from Darius Munchausen. Hey, at Tim's talk. Darius Munchausen says, Cockney just gave you a shout out. Black Philip Alvarez recommended his viewers pop over here after he finished. Yeah,
thanks, man.
I did see him. So thank you very much, Darius.
Sloppy seconds.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm fine with that. Any love is good loving, so I took what I could get. Degrassi Knowles says, I still have my Criterion Blade Runner Laserdisc from 87. Wow. Holy crap.
Nice.
I wore that mother out. Has a ring etched into it from heavy rotation.
Nice.
I'm bad. Darius Munchausen at Tim's Talk says, I liked 2049 too, but then I watched the original again, and it got even better with time. Yeah, and that is one of those personal preferences, and I prefer the original. But I love the 2049 as well. Degrassi Knowles says, Gremlins 2 is another perfect sequel. Robert Picardo is Joe Dante's Lucky Charm. He's like Gary Marshall's Hector Elizondo. Agreed.
Yeah. So was Dick Miller. So.
Well, yeah, at any time you can get Dick Miller in a movie, you do it. Darius Munchausen, being a teen in the 80s must have been awesome.
It was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
I saw Star Trek 4 in 70 millimeter.
Holy.
It was awesome. All the little things you don't think about when you were that age, and then you look back and you go, wait a minute, I saw that. Yeah, it was great.
Right.
Darius Munchausen says, ahoy, Degrassi Knowles. Tim's Talk, don't tell anybody that I haven't seen Gremlins.
Nah.
Darius, your secret is safe.
Just did.
Yep. Oops.
General Kenobi at Darius Munchausen from Tim's Talk. And Tim says hello to Todd Michael. Tim's Talk at Darius Munchausen. Yeah, 2049 made me appreciate the original more. The final cut one, I went back and watched.
Yeah, I like the final cut. That's probably my favorite version of the, I think, 4 or 5 versions out there.
Yeah.
Same here.
Degrassi Knowles says Dante would have got Batman if Burton walked.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And Tim's Talk at Darius Munchausen. Gremlins is a classic. There is no argument there. Degrassi Knowles says Psycho 2 is creepy, weird, good. I will need to check it out. I think we were talking about Bates Motel yesterday and how I sort of left the original Psycho alone on its own. I'm in the cat camp, I suppose. I haven't seen any of the sequels, but if you guys are saying it's worth a look-see.
It is.
Darius
Worth a gander.
Darius Munchausen says to Tim Talk, Final Cut is my favorite version of Blade Runner, but I've met Gen Xers who actually like the monologue from the theatrical cut. That's am fine. One of them.
Yeah, it's kind of what was there originally. You kind of, everything you compare it, any other edit, you compare it to that original.
Correct. Yeah. I like the theatrical cut. I find, but I probably because I know it so well that when I actually did see the final cut, it was just more goodness for me, and I was just like, okay, this is
I agree 100% with you there, Steve. A lot of other edits of things I see as like just more goodness of something. I don't nitpick over this is better than that.
There's like a huge difference between the theatrical and the director's cut or final cut with they changing the ending, of course. But I also really like the monologue. I think it kind of puts it more into the film noir genre.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's what roped me the first time I saw it.
So for me, I after I saw the final cut, I decided that Those are the two cuts. The theatrical cut and the final cut. I basically started to ignore the rest, and I don't need to see those other versions of film.
Mhm.
The theatrical cut, I do like. I still go back to, and then obviously the final cut, which is I think is my definitive version of the film.
Yeah, I like the final cut.
Tim Stock says to Darius Munchausen, I like the final cut better. I understand people like the theatrical cut. The final cut has added scenes to make Deckard seem more so like a replicant or just messes with us more. It does raise the question, and I do, and the ending is better. Even with the making it nighttime with the release of the dove.
Yeah.
Degrassi Knowles says, I'd love to see straight adaptations of Robert Bloch's original Psycho novels. Kind of different. They get super meta. I'm not familiar with the books at all.
Not same here.
Me neither.
No.
Tim's talk. Bill and Ted 1 and 2 didn't age for me that well. Well,
that's not surprising. Those were movies kind of made of their time and for their time.
Yeah. Like
I can't imagine my son's 21. I can't imagine trying to show that to him and him like having any connection to it.
Right.
Well, and the same thing with Howard the Duck or even Weekend at Bernie's. The part of the reason why I have soft spots for these movies is because of when I saw them.
Yeah.
And in terms of underrated sequels, Weekend at Bernie's 2 is awesome.
Surprised he didn't mention it. I was like, why?
Caddyshack.
Scotty brought up Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Oh, Jackie!
Oh my God, Caddyshack 2.
I actually like Caddyshack 2.
The Richard Aloha. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Want to support? Tip and comment here. The link is in the chat. Thank you, the Richard. Aloha to you, sir. The Richard loves Goonies.
Yeah.
So we can fight.
The
Richard says didn't get into the King of Aladdin. Didn't get into King of Aladdin Thieves. King of Thieves,
Yeah.
Aladdin.
King of Thieves.
I've
Yeah,
only
I have
seen
no
the
idea.
first one. Yeah. Or Return of Jafar, and I only use that as a punchline. I have never seen Return of Jafar.
Episode 9.5, Return of Jar Jar.
The
Richard
He is the
says Friday
Sith
the
Lord.
13th, Part 6 is great. Okay. I can't even remember which is which.
I think he killed some people in it.
No, he meant 5.
Probably. Oh, even 5.
Five is fake,
Imposter.
Jason.
See, even we don't know from his comments which one he's talking about.
I know.
Tim Stock says hello to the Richard. The Richard says Corey Feldman says the rights have switched, and there is a chance his character could finally have a proper battle versus Jason.
Someone needs a paycheck. That's all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Corey Feldman would love to be in a movie.
No.
Yeah, any movie?
Yeah. Degrassi knows F-13. F-13-5 has fake. Oh, Friday the 13th 5 has fake Jason. A new
Fast and
beginning.
Furious 13.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Furious 13 will have fake
Function
Jason.
key
Spoiler
nine.
alert.
The Richard says, "Hi, Tim. I'm still waking up. Sorry, I late all. No apology necessary.
No
Just
worries.
happy you are here, sir."
That's right.
Darius Munchausen says Robert Myers Burnett and some sort of
knife?
looks like a machete. Yeah.
Knife.
It's because he said Myers, not Meyer. Myers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Badum.
Didn't.
Well earned.
Aloha.
To the Richard. Function key 13. Tommy Jarvis versus Jason. The Richard says aloha to Darius Munchausen. The Richard, enjoying this episode? Check out our website for more Fantasmagorium, including new merch, art, and entire library of our shows. The Fantasmagorium Show main site is at phantasmagoriumshow.com. Degrassi, sorry?
Click it.
Click it.
Click it
Degrassi Knowles says, I was looking forward to the Halloween anthology movie series when I was a kid. That movie was a pants shitter for me and introduced me to pagan anarcho-capitalism.
Nice.
Yeah.
A pants shitter.
Pants shitter.
That is
that's
a
good online
very good
avatar
comment. Very
Yeah.
good comment.
Ding, 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 ding. You might have won. I don't know what you'll win, but comment of the
Comment
day.
of the day.
You have won a new pair of underpants.
Oh,
Yes.
Look what here. FX.
And The Richard agrees with you, Terje, with FX2 being an underrated sequel with Brian Brown.
Yeah, it's
You brought it up first.
If I remember, I gotta go back. Those were good movies.
They were.
Special
They were
effects
Brian
artists,
Dennehy.
Pretty cool. Brian Dennehy, that's right. Brian Brown.
Degrassi Noel says the Neighbors movies were serviceable comedies. Yes.
First one,
Serviceable
yes.
is
Second
a
know
one,
very
no.
good word.
Yeah, when I use serviceable when I don't like something either. Good call.
Mhm.
Porky's 2.
Usually cost-
Porky's
Porky's
2.
too.
The Revenge.
I don't like the
What about-
Porky's movies.
What about Meatballs 2 with Fred Mulligan?
Meatballs too.
The Richard, I missed the first hour, so I hope I don't repeat any. No, you were right in time for FX2, man. The Richard, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Next Generation, the one with Matthew McConaughey.
I'm going to
Yeah,
say
that's a good
no
one.
and hope Robert Meyer Burnett isn't watching because he worked on
Robert.
that movie.
Oh, was
he
that-
does-
First movie he
well,
worked
I-
on. The first
yeah.
movie he worked on.
I don't like.
Dream Warriors by Dawkins says.
That was they did
Oh
do
yeah,
the title music was Dawkins. I forgot about that.
great song.
Ooh. The Richard says Hostel 2 is a perfect sequel. I prefer that franchise to Saw. I am
Disagree.
remiss.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Hostel 2. I think I did, but I don't. It's a forgettable movie for me. Sorry, Rich.
Oh, yeah, there we go. And so when Terje said FX2, Richard is asking if you're cribbing from his notes. You reading the chat, Terje?
No, I'm on my phone. I'm blind to the chat.
Okay, fair enough. Perfect. The Richard says the FX films featured Brian Brown from Cocktail, as well as Brian Dennehy. Second was a tad cheesy, though, was part of what got me into special effects as a life goal.
Yeah, I might have been thinking of Brian Dennehy. And for some reason, I don't know why Billy Connolly got stuck in my head. But, okay. live show.
No.
Great.
Degrassi Noel says Short Circuit reboot is going to anger many.
Ah,
Are they
This-
rebooting?
Is this
Yeah.
still happening?
The robot's female now.
Oh
I
my
heard
god.
it wasn't happening.
Of course it is.
Is it
I
still
don't
happening? I heard it wasn't happening.
Joni 5.
Well, I love Joni 5. Joni 5.
Joanna 5. Long
Don't
circuit.
disassemble, Stephanie.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, anyway. The Richard says Major League 2 was a good sequel, even minus Wesley Snipes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm in. I agree. It was a good sequel, even minus Wesley Snipes. Omar Epps was in that one? That was, yeah.
Umar Epps was he actually played?
Degrassi Noel says, I'm in the minority on Exorcist 2. I dig it.
Yeah.
No one is going to take away your happiness.
It doesn't
I
suck.
also dig it. I like to dig it into the ground in my yard.
And then
I was
your
kinda
dog-
waiting.
And then your dog finds it and brings it back to life.
Degrassi Noel says Fletch Lives rules, and I remember it fondly. So I'm going to say yes. And looking forward to the John Hamm Fletch, dude. Yeah,
God, I
we
know
will
you guys
have
are so excited about this John Hamm Fletch. I just, for some reason, I can't see it. I'm gonna have to see footage before I can get on board with that guy.
fair
Have you seen Ham in anything like when he gets kind of crazy? Like when he was on because I think his 30 Rock appearances were amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm totally all in on this.
I think it's more. It has nothing to do with John Hamm. It has more to do with Fletch.
Oh,
For me, I don't know if that plays anymore, but we'll see.
Oh, the Richard.
Bend over.
Here's a deep cut. Best of the best 4 without warning. First I saw, so always a place in my heart. I have not seen any of the best of the best.
It's a
Best
loaded
of
title.
Best of the. I'm looking this up now.
Without
Loaded
warning.
title. Without warning.
If the first one was already the best of the best, how come there's 3 more?
Right?
It has its
That's
own.
like-
It has its own Wikipedia page.
Well, why is there a never-ending story too?
Right?
We're at
The
3.
Richard. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. I'm assuming that is in reference to the anime.
Yeah, it's a really good animated movie.
Okay. Todd Michael says to Degrassi.
Yeah, I think a ham
ham
fletch would be great.
Mhm. Super jazz. Confess Fletch. Yeah, that's the new one. But is it based off one of the books? I don't think it is.
Have any of you read the books?
No.
I've read the first one.
Okay.
But Ben from Cinema Gulp, he's read them all. From what I understand in our conversations leading up to Fletch. Todd Michael says, "Ooh, nice."
A little lower pitch. I don't usually go, ooh.
Fair enough. That is true.
Well, you're here, so you can say it
I'm
yourself.
usually about 2 octaves
what
lower
happened
than
to
you.
imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Ooh. I'll work on it. Degrassi Neill says to Todd Michael on Paramount Plus next year, I believe. Oh no! Please don't tell me it's going straight to Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that's what I.
Oh yeah, probably.
That's
probably why I got greenlit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Richard says my comments made sense in context, and even out of context, they're making sense to me, man. All right, here's Todd Michael says, "Ugh, I so don't want to get Paramount Plus, but I will have to for my beloved new South Park stuff."
Yeah,
Better?
14 movies.
and that's more of a.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, if you just want to read your own. Degrassi Noel says Meatballs 3. I
don't
think
remember that.
I think I only saw the second one. Or which one had the alien in it? I forget. No, there's an alien in one of the Meatballs movies. I think it was 2.
Meatballs 3.
You know what else is a good underrated sequel? I think was Poltergeist 2. The other
Really?
side. Yeah.
We lost
I like
Cat.
Cat left.
Is that the Tourgier, is that the one where God is in his holy temple? Poltergeist 2? Is that the one where the old man, the creepy old
Yeah,
man?
he shows up at the door, and it has that. Yeah,
Bowl, yeah.
And-
Okay, yeah.
and it has this
I
awful
like that
scene
one.
with Coach drinking his tequila, and the worm turns into an awful thing he spews out.
He vomits it up. Pretty good
Yep.
scene. Pretty graphic scene.
And we have regained a cat. Fantastic. The Richard says, actually, Turge, Leatherface / R.A. Mihailov is a family friend. He comes here for barbecue every so often, too. That's awesome,
Yeah, that's cool.
Does he bring the meat?
dude.
Of course not. Oh, God, maybe he does.
Todd Michael, this is all you.
Oh, I could kill some brisket or pulled pork right now.
I could kill some brisket right now.
We're like, oh.
Cool Leatherface.
Good 16-hour smoke.
Mm.
Mhm.
The Richard says, John Hamm on SNL is perfection. I agree. His comedic roles are fantastic. Degrassi Noel says, Meathead was the alien in Meatballs 2. Thank you very much. I knew there was an alien in one. The Richard says, God in his holy temple. Poltergeist 2 was the first I saw. And I've... and is that the bottom half of the chat?
Yep. That is it for the chat today. Yeah, we're coming right up to the 2-hour mark. Unless anybody else has anything else, I think we can go
I
ahead.
would like to ask for one final thing, going
Sure.
back to something mentioned before. I'd really like to hear Terje's Australian accent by way of Norwegian accent again.
No, don't put me on the spot for stiff.
Okay, I was just
That's fine.
nobody called out on that.
Don't
and I
put
just
me on
had
the
to-
spot like that.
Give him a couple, have a couple
that's-
beers, and then he'll do it.
I actually recently watched Conan O'Brien learning Australian slang on this old clip from the Conan O'Brien show, which was really funny. You wanna go to Macca's? Wanna go to Macca's? That's McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Macca.
If you want to go to
Macca's.
Burger King in Australia, you got to go to Hungry Jack's.
Hungry Jack.
Brian Brown. He likes to take off his shirt.
There you go. That was good.
That was almost Chris Hemsworth level there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Degrassi Knoll says, me, Ted?
Me Ted.
Me,
Ted?
Ted.
Ted
If there are
too.
no follow-up questions, yes.
Me, Ted, you, Jane.
All right.
Alrighty.
Someone's doing dishes.
Okay, so I think we'll call it a wrap on today's Friday Free for All. I'd like to thank all of our guests and everybody in the chat. We're nothing without the chat. We love it. Love you. And I think what we'll do is we'll start with Sergey. Can you tell everybody where everybody can find you online?
Probably under some long lost carpet, or if you see some naked guy with a Doctor Who scarf skipping somewhere, it might be me.
Okay.
I look
Okay.
forward to it.
And you can always find him right here on the Phantasmagorium show and network. Love you, Sergey. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Adios.
Adios.
See you, man.
Later.
All right, Kat, can tell everybody where you can find you online?
Oh, did you say me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, I have a Twitter and a Instagram account, but I don't really use them. So you can find me hosting a show, Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns with Scott, Wednesday nights at 6.
That's right.
On
It was a great show, by the way. Awesome show.
So fun.
Yeah, really fun. Cool. So we'll see you soon. Love to have you. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you on Wednesday for sure.
Okay.
Todd Michael, anything to plug, or can you tell the folks where they can find you online?
My social media is all about my interest and love of restoring classic VW cars. So I am at thegarageoflove.com.
Oh,
Nice.
cool. Awesome. Thanks
But
for
it's been
stopping
a great
by.
day. I had an
appreciate
enjoyable
it.
time. We need to define what underrated means.
I know, that was a weird
Yeah.
list.
Well, you got me on that one
Yeah.
when I started thinking about it. So
Yeah.
Weird list.
Underrated
There were
to
some
me. Underrated to me means critically underrated. Means the critics scored it at like 55 or below, right? On a scale of 100.
okay.
So
I'm
that's
sure it's
kind of like a Metacritic score, you know.
I'm sure it's a topic that we'll revisit with our own
We will.
lists.
Yep. Anyway,
Well, we
Todd
got to
Michael,
beware of Catherine doing lists though, because they're like 1,000 lines long.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I saw that.
she's awesome. She's
They're
awesome.
well researched.
Yes, very well researched. Okay,
Thanks, buddy.
well,
We'll,
gentlemen,
we'll
it's
talk
been
to
a
you
great
soon.
day. Talk to you later.
All right.
Thanks
buddy.
for coming,
Later,
Todd Michael.
Michael.
All right,
And
Black
then there was
Philip
Phil.
Alvarez. Where can people find you online, buddy?
Well, I'm rarely on my social media also, but I do have a YouTube channel also.
Yes, you do.
Which is Black. You've both been on my channel. Yes, it's Black Philip Alvarez. So probably do another Insomniac hour tonight, the last one, because What If starts next week. So
Okay. Cool.
and I plan on
Yeah.
doing reviews on those, just like we did for Loki. So yeah, probably gonna do one final Insomniac hour tonight, and probably talk about Suicide Squad. So unless you've seen it, don't watch it.
We'll see you
Thanks.
there. Thanks,
All right.
buddy. Thanks for coming, man.
There
I
you go.
appreciate it.
Later.
Nice to see you, Phil. And
And
it
then there
was
were
us,
two,
pal.
Scotty.
Wow, that was really good.
It was a fun time, huh?
Yeah, it was a very fun time. I think there are a couple stragglers left in the chat, and then we can bust out and have a weekend.
Let's do that. Let's see. Where did we stop at? God's in His Holy Temple. I think we stopped at Me, Ted.
Degrassi Knoll says, I just have to say the Suicide Squad has the absolute best Atmos encode I've ever heard stream. Oh, wow, that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Awesome.
The Richard, thanks all. No,
Thank
the
you.
Richard, thank you. Darius Munchausen, great show today. Thank you. You were a part of it, Darius. Thanks for stopping by. Degrassi Knowles, Lates. Absolutely. And Lates to you too. The Richard at Steve. Do we want to tease something coming to the Phantasmagorium website pretty soon?
We do, but let's hold off until we have a little better understanding of how we want to launch that out.
So we will, but
So we
not
will.
quite yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just not quite yet.
Yep. Degrassi Noel says, thanks for the company. Good people. Thank you for your company, Degrassi.
And just to go back to that really quick, we're going to feature the Richards art on the Fantasmagorium show. This is what we're building here is a community of like-minded individuals that like all kinds of art, film, TV, comic books, you name it. If it's genre related, we're pretty much into it. So we want to showcase and highlight those things. Like I said, we've already brought on Cam from the chat to do reviews for us on the website. We're going to have a gallery for the Richards art and anything else. We're going to keep working and building this thing into a community that kind of shares arts, shares we like, things that we love, and just kind of build that up. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Well, and just a mild.
We're doing it on a shoe. We're doing it on a shoestring budget. There's no budget, man. It's just with your gracious tips and generous tips, and just hopefully we can get some things moving and enjoy the art that we all love and create.
And just as a minor tease, we do have something coming.
We do. It is coming. Couple weeks.
Yep. Darius Munchausen says, take care, everybody. Take care, Darius.
Take care,
I'm sure I'll see you soon. Todd Michael says, later to Darius.
Later.
Actually, sorry. He says, later, Darius.
Yeah.
I have to lower my octaves.
Right. And Degrassi Knowles, he says bye to
and to Degrassi Knowles. And later, whoever else is here. Todd Michael says, we're going to go see the Suicide Squad tomorrow at 2:30. Hope to hear what you all think of it soon. As soon as I get on that, I am. Like I said, it's all sold out. So as soon as I can get into a theater, I'm going to check it out.
Batshit bonkers crazy good movie.
I want to see a giant Starro. I want a giant Starro.
It's so good.
Terje says, it's the weekend. Woohoo! It's midnight. Let's go to bed and start another day. Yay! Time zones.
Okay, buddy.
All right, man.
Good show. Love doing these shows with you. We had a fun time on the free for all today. List is the list. These lists are just what they are. It's some dude putting together a list to get some clicks, probably. But we had fun. I had fun going through it.
Good conversation.
Yep. And we had a great guest today. I want to thank all my guests again. They were our guest again. It's awesome to have you guys on. We'll see you. Hopefully, see you all or most of you next Friday for Friday Free for All. So until next time, for Scotty R37, I am Steve Foley. Have a great day, everybody.